This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for Vagabond Buddha. Today I'm going to show you videos of Vung Tau, Vietnam, as I discuss why it's a favorite retire cheap in paradise location for some, but no need to take notes. Everything I say is in writing. Just click the link in the notes below this YouTube video to get Vung Tau, cost of living, livability factors, best area, cheapest flights, best tours, nightlife, and life and food in Vung Tau, and facts and history, plus our best retire cheap in paradise locations in the world. This post describes how you may be able to retire on 1,000 US per month in Vung Tau, Vietnam. I've created 50 plus retire cheap reports worldwide. According to the US government, 21% of retired married people and 43% of retired unmarried people rely on Social Security for 90% or more of their retirement income. With the average Social Security check for less than $1,400 per month, it's not surprising that many Americans are moving to lower cost of living destinations around the world, along with other nationalities. The surprising thing is how happy retired expats that I meet in my travels seem to be. If it wasn't for my family still living in the U.S., I don't think I would even visit the U.S. more than once every 5 years or so. The USA just seems too focused on consumption and not enough focus on lifestyle. After visiting and living in 65 countries so far, I kind of know what I'm talking about. Visit Vagabond Buddha to see if we are still running a special promotion for our members only access to retire cheap reports and action guides for international living. Okay, Vung Tau, cost of living. There's a table on the website. Just click below this YouTube video. But the range of cost of living for the big three, which are rent, food, and local transportation. This is a range for backpacker types up to people like myself who are frugal but would want a one-bedroom so I can cook some of my own meals. It's going to run you somewhere between $500 and $1,000 a month. This estimated cost of living for 1 month for one person is for a temporary visitor, and it includes the rent, 2 meals a day, and local transportation. I usually have oatmeal for breakfast, so I don't count that. For a full understanding of what it would cost you to live here, visit numbeo.com for Vung Tau and add any items you spend money on that are not in the table. Never move anywhere until you have visited first personally to verify the living costs for your lifestyle and needs. I'm not guaranteeing these prices. These are just my notes and estimates from the time of my visit and this post. Come to the webpage. There's a video there from a guy named Gary who's lived there for about 8 years. And he's paying about $250 in rent and about $300 a month in food, just to give you an idea of what some people are paying. If you buy anything using our links, such as flights, tours, or accommodations, you'll pay nothing extra, but we'll earn a small commission. It'll help us make these travel guides and videos. Okay, Vung Tau livability factors. You should consider your own personal livability factors before deciding whether you should visit to verify whether or not you can retire on 1,000 USD a month in Vung Tau based on your lifestyle needs. Here are my livability factors. Walkability, high. I like to live somewhere where I can mostly just walk rather than get in a car or take a taxi or a bus. If you live on the southern tip of the peninsula like I would, Vung Tau would be totally walkable, so I'm ranking this high. Internet, high. Internet's great in Vung Tau unless you're one of many people on a shared Wi-Fi router. That shouldn't be a problem if you get your own router. Okay, food, I would say medium. Vietnamese food is abundant and cheap, but since Vung Tau is more of a Vietnamese weekend getaway from Saigon, there doesn't seem to be as much international money chasing international food diversity. So it's merely medium. It's very cheap and delicious, but not a lot of international. It does have some great vegan restaurants, if that's your thing, which is mine. Okay, the weather, I would say, I would rate this as a high. The average highs range seasonally from a low of 87 Fahrenheit in December to a high of 94 in April. And the average lows at night range seasonally from a low of 70 Fahrenheit in January to a high of 78 Fahrenheit in April. Those are at night. The rainy season is May through October, when at least some rain falls in 18 or more days of the month. Things to do: medium, fishing, swimming, running, exercise, shopping, fine dining, day markets, night markets, chilling at home, dance classes, yoga, cooking classes, bicycling, boating, hiking, snorkeling, scuba diving, bar hopping, trips to surrounding cities, and restaurant exploration. Social considerations: medium. You'll see a bunch of retirement age white guys hanging out, chatting, playing cards and drinking beer and flirting with bar girls in Vung Tau. I hear mostly Australian accents, but there are other accents floating about. There are also some Russian locals and tourists, but not as many as you will find in places like Nha Trang. Most of the tourists you see here seem to be Vietnamese visiting on the weekend from Saigon. You may be able to find people that love what you love to do. Just Google and see what you get and ask on the below expat Facebook pages. You'll need to pick up some Vietnamese language if you want to feel fully integrated here. I would suggest picking up some local language no matter where you are in the non-English speaking world, just as a matter of respect. Okay, expats. Hi, there are 4 Facebook groups in Vung Tau. The expats, there are great places to ask silly questions like, can I get any Almond Joy candy bars in Vietnam? You can start asking questions on these Facebook pages before you make a final decision of whether or not to do a site visit here in Vung Tau. There's 4 Facebook expat pages. Medical. Hi, I've been to the FV hospital in Saigon before, and my trust level is high. Yeah, here's an article about the local healthcare and dental options in Vung Tau. You should also ask around on the expat pages before you have an emergency. I suppose medical here would be a medium then instead of high. I don't know why I marked that as high. Let me change that. Okay, visa requirements. High. The Americans we met living in Vietnam don't bother to get retirement visas. They just get a new 1-year visa every year. There are companies that will pick you up at your house and take you to the border once a year to exit Vietnam and re-enter for another 1-year visa. You'll have to fill out paperwork and attach a photo. The cost is $75, including the bus ride, lunch, and the new visa stamp. Other countries can only get a 3-month visa in Vietnam, so they have to do 4 visa runs per year at $75 each. We got a 3-month visa online using a process described by Chung Hoi. It's actually a letter you get, and when you arrive at the airport, they translate it into a 3-month visa. Link provided for that. Real estate. Hi, I don't recommend buying real estate in Vietnam. Just rent for cheap and hand the keys back to the landlord when you're ready for your next experience. Rents are cheap, and you don't have to worry about complicated laws you don't fully understand. Some of the websites promoting real estate ownership for foreign retirees have a conflict of interest when they promote this concept. Drop the idea that you need to own where you live. Why call a plumber you don't know how to talk to and pay above market rates? Call the landlord when something needs fixing. Let them call the plumber and pay local rates. Keep your real estate in your home country or buy somewhere with hundreds of years of understandable, unchanging property laws that clearly allow foreigners to buy and sell easily. Banking. Don't wire large amounts of money into a foreign bank in Vietnam or anywhere else for that matter. Just get cash at the ATM as needed, or transfer what you will need for the next 60 days into a local bank if you decide to get a local bank at all. If you're tired of paying ATM fees, open a Charles Schwab account and get link provided and get your ATM fees reimbursed. Try your best to not retire anywhere that requires you to make a large deposit in local banks. Just get long-term tourist visas when possible. Okay, pollution for Vung Tau, medium. Visually, the air quality appeared and smelled fine to us. However, we read online the air quality was moderate when we were here. You will see garbage strewn about as in other parts of Southeast Asia. That's generally normal. Do not drink tap water. Vung Tau desirability score, medium. This is the overall score. Despite so many positive aspects of living in Vung Tau, I would not seriously consider retiring here. It's just a bit small for my taste. I like bigger places with more going on. That said, if I was still working and I needed to make a visit to Saigon on business 2 to 4 times per month for a few days each visit, I would live here and commute to Saigon. Right now, my favorite destination in Vietnam are Nha Trang, Da Nang, Hoi An, and Phu Quoc. Phu Quoc. It's an island that we're at right now, in fact. Subscribe for my final rating of the best places to live in Vietnam, which should be published within a month or so. If you're finding any value here, could you please like it, comment, share, subscribe? Your simple act of kindness will move us up in the Google and YouTube search rankings so our business grows faster. If you'd like to learn how to fire your boss and live in paradise for peanuts, grab a free copy of my ebook, How to Fire Your Boss and Travel the World. Okay, best area to stay in Vung Tau. A few suggestions for you. There's a hostel here, great location and ratings. There's where we stayed. It's beautiful, clean, great area, cheap. The Wi-Fi work great. Hot showers, balcony, mini fridge, water boiler, great AC, cool dog, in a great area. Cheap Western mini mart at the end of the street. Highly rated step above. There's a link here to a more suitable place if you love comfort and are willing to spend a little more. And then there's a link to an Airbnb. If we return for a month, we would want a kitchen so we could cook. We ate out the whole time we were here. We did a little takeaway, but ate out mostly. At the time of this writing, we would make offers for an Airbnb in the neighborhood of this link for $15 per night for a 30-day rental. If you're new to Airbnb, use this code at checkout to get a big discount. Link provided. Stay in an Airbnb to verify whether or not you could retire on $1,000 a month in Vung Tau, Vietnam before making a final decision. Cheapest flights to Vung Tau. We almost always get our cheapest flights on Skyscanner. Link provided. However, in this time we took a luxury minivan from Ho Chi Minh City to Vung Tau. It took about 2.5 hours and cost $7. The regular bus from Saigon to Vung Tau is about $8, and the ferry is about $25. There's a ferry that goes from Saigon to Vung Tau, and that is a beautiful trip if you want to have nice scenery along the way. Okay, Vung Tau, Vietnam, must see. There's a video here on the webpage of the 7 things you must see while in Vung Tau. Watch the video. If it looks fun, there's a map here, and each place is enumerated on the webpage. Also, just click the map and start your Vung Tau tour of everything you must see in Vung Tau. Okay, best beaches in Vung Tau. There's a video here and a list of the 5 beaches that you must see while you're in Vung Tau. If the video looks fun, take the best beach tour. Finally, the Vung Tau Vietnam nightlife walking tour. There is a walking tour of the nightlife places we got to know while we were staying here, the ones that were fun, interesting, or at least the neighborhoods. You could walk through those and find out where your cup of tea is. And then there's a list of the bars that we recommend you look at on the walk, although there's many more on the walk than the ones we have on the list. And then there's an interactive Google Maps so you can take the walking tour. Okay, digital nomads, Vung Tau life and food. Our favorite restaurants are here. Very favorite, our second favorite, another favorite, a couple of great vegan food carts, outdoor octopus barbecue. There's a fish market, and then so you know, don't eat bad food. Just come, you know, click the links and go eat at the place that we already checked out. Okay, Vung Tau facts and history. Here's some interesting facts and history we gathered along the way. What we call Vung Tau means anchor in English, was a swamp where Europeans anchored in the 14th and 15th century. Emperor Gia sent the military here in the late 18th century to run off Malay pirates that were disrupting early Vietnamese dynasty international trades. In 1859, Nguyen Dynasty cannons first fired on French battleships that were trying to enter the harbor towards Saigon through Vung Tau. This was the beginning of a long-fought battle with the French that ended in the colonial rule of Vietnam. During the colonial rule of Vietnam, renamed Cochinchina, the French labeled Vung Tau Captain St. James. The governor of the French colony of Cochinchina built a beautiful white mansion in Vung Tau that is still a favorite tourist attraction in the area. It's on our must-see list. You should definitely see it. During the Vietnam War, Vung Tau functioned as a rest and relaxation spot for U.S., Australian, and New Zealand soldiers stationed in Vietnam. When America lost the Vietnam War, Vung Tau was a launching point for many of the boat people that left Vietnam. Some were allowed to live in other countries like the U.S., Europe, but many poor Vietnamese that could not afford sturdy boats perished at sea. Today, oil and natural gas exploration dominate the city's income sources. Shipbuilding and weekend tourism from Saigon also play an important role. The dominant religion in Vung Tau is Mahayana Buddhism. It was brought to Vung Tau by the North Vietnamese in the 17th century. Before that, the Khmer people practiced Theravada Buddhism. The Christ statue in Vung Tau was built by the Catholic community of Vung Tau. Okay, final thoughts. If you're interested in the subject of present moment awareness, there's a link here on the webpage for my videos posted on that. Please subscribe to Vagabond Buddha or our YouTube channel to watch us move around the world. To find out about our members-only prices and benefits about retiring cheap in paradise, there's a video on the webpage here you can watch. All of this I'm talking about is on the webpage. Just click below this YouTube video. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Thank you for your interest in our Retire on 1,000 USD a month in Vung Tau, Vietnam guide. The world's your home. What time will you be home for dinner?
This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, could you please like it, subscribe, or comment? Any of those would increase our rankings in the search engines, which would help our business greatly. Thanks so much in advance.
This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. Hey, we write reports about the best places in the world to retire cheap. Come on over to Vagabond Buddha and check us out. Just click the link below this video. Come to Vagabond Buddha, see what the sort of services and prices we have. Thanks so much.